to the LEC where we are joined by Rhodes Trymbi. I want to give you a big congratulations on that win and another 2-0 week. You have also locked playoffs. Did you know that? Did you know you'd be locking playoffs with a win?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a break, so I went to my team and I heard it because someone said it. But yeah, we were like, yeah, whatever. I guess it's like
just another day in the office for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously people were happy, right? But I think we did not really think about it in the way that we just felt that it's secured, right? No matter what happens, I think. So, I mean, it's obviously nice that we secured it with the win today. And the win, yeah, the win overall was nice after the 0-2 week that we had last week, right?
For sure. So let's talk a little bit more about this game because it felt pretty close at times. The casters were joking about how it felt like it was a game between Vitality's top jungle and your mid AD. But as the game kind of progressed, it felt like that you claimed full controls. How did you feel the game went, and where do you feel like you really took control over the whole game?
I think that caster should have said that I was doing a bit of a work as well, because I think my champ was pretty nice against enemy champs. I think that with my ult, right, they just can't engage, so it's really nice, I think, to play Tamker this game. And overall, I think it was a bit weird the way the game was played by us, because there was like one of two, I think after the nerf there was this incident, right, that we're chasing Galio, I think, or something like this happened, and then we died and this stuff, right? So the game looked really messy, so it was not like one of the cleanest games and one of those games that you would be proud of, right? But I think we played solid and we were trying to play together as a team, which was really nice to see.
Yeah, I think we definitely saw that. Now, Larssen is the key player of the game. He's someone that we have talked a lot about this split. Nymaera, what did you think of his performance this game?
I mean, I think that, you know, we had a bit of a blip last week, whether that was the champions or whatever, bit of a down at that point. But this has been a real up again. I mean, I think that Larssen has been really consistent, really solid. We saw how much of a CS advantage came out, and admittedly it's a good matchup, but that was just like pounding that Galio into the ground, and it did feel like Vitality just couldn't really hit home a lot of the bigger combos because the Galio had so few resources. That was a really big win to have from that laner.
Yeah, it certainly felt that way. So Rogue definitely had a dominant performance, but I also brought you here, Trymbi, to talk a little bit about the last time that G2 and Fnatic met, alongside the fact that they will be meeting for our final match of the day. Obviously, you have a lot of experience playing with these teams, but the last time they met, it was actually a very close back and forth. I don't know if you remember the TP underneath the tower from Humanoid, the fact that he then got locked up. The game was pretty crazy.
Yeah, the TP incident, that was very unlucky because I think Fnatic actually was good in the game before that incident, and afterwards, I just felt like they need to open, because G2's team composition was really good in a way that if they get to actually outscale, they're gonna outscale you to the ground, and it's not even funny how good their team comp was versus an enemy team. So yeah, that was kind of it. Maybe not the team comp itself. I think the Zilean was a crucial pick, right? But that game, I think.
And I do think that one of the identities of the region right now is actually how many mistakes are you allowed to make. And I think that a lot of the LEC teams have shown that they're really proficient kind of taking those opportunities when they're shown. Hell, we even saw, SK do that against Mad. We've seen a lot of our lower table teams do that in the last couple of weeks outside of that. Seems like it's kind of becoming a bit of a theme for the whole region.
It definitely does feel that way. Now, Trymbi, something I often see you do is roaming mid lane to make mid laners' lives miserable. So when we look at Caps and Humanoid, mid laners that you've tormented religiously, what do you think about that matchup, and what do you think about them going into this?
Well, I think both supports have a lot to prove, and I think in this mid matchup, because both supports can actually influence on it, because I believe both Caps and Humanoid are gankable, I would say, in a way that they're actually gonna fight, I believe, unless they have really shit matchups, right? Then it's pointless to go there. But I think there might be a scenario where actually support will matter, and I think in this game it's gonna be pretty crucial, because the support matchup looks interesting for sure, and I would like to see how the 3v3 goes, or even support just trying to influence the map.
For sure. I think that this support matchup is going to be very important, and directly in terms of how it ties with this mid lane matchup, because Humanoid and Caps have been very dominant in their respective roles, and Nymaera, I'm now looking at you. We talk a lot when we look at G2 as a team that typically uses their mid advantage to then play up towards the top side of the map, whereas Fnatic recently, we've been seeing them play a lot more towards the bot side of the map. So when we think about this matchup today, who are you favoring a little bit more, and where do you think they're going to focus?
Oh gosh, that's a really hard question to answer because of course it would be, because these teams are both really, really good. I think that I think I would have favored Fnatic, but then actually Hilly was not getting away with as much as he was used to in the last couple of games he was playing. I think that's a bit of a worrying sign. And while G2 also kind of got outplayed in the early game and just let SK get a lot of gold on their bot lane as the team fight, I feel like if Hilly isn't on peak form, I think that G2's mid jungle is going to have a lot more of that breathing room, which you don't want them to have.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a little more in just a bit, but we're getting close to adding a new chapter to the oldest rivalry in European League of Legends, as Fnatic will look to face up against G2 Esports.
G2 and Fnatic has given us some of the best games in the history of the LEC. They have brought us the highest highs and the greatest heartbreaks.
This is what peak League of Legends looks like, and it comes from Europe. G2 have just dismantled RNG, and they're going to make their way to the semi-finals. Fnatic are the kings of the West, and they will represent in the World Final. FPX, get ready. G2 is headed to Paris.
Obviously, we changed a lot this offseason, and it feels great to just hear new opinions and not having all this luggage, I guess, of the past.
I think if both G2 and us make it to the finals, then it could like renew the rivalry.
Fnatic take down G2. The base is still alive, and G2 survive in this game. It's the greatest game ever. G2, they take it. Fnatic are on the precipice of making history. The first team to defeat G2 Esports in 2.5 years.
We are seeing our old heroes replaced by new ones, and a rebirth for both these teams.
Not much is left of 2019, but we are trying to make it again to be one of the greatest teams Europe has ever had.
Playing with these guys is like playing with your family, and yeah, it feels really great, and I really love every single one of my teammates.
Despite everything that is changing, one thing will always remain the same, and that is the rivalry between these two great organizations staying alive.
I think G2 is Caps, and it's just always exciting to play against Caps, and whoever is in his team, it will be always exciting to play.
Now for the finish! Pulls them back with the showstopper, Armor already in the middle of the pit. Jankos trying to take him out, Armor's going to have to flash away, the shockwave lands onto 2. Look at the damage! Perkz is just dead, couldn't even see him go down. Perkz caught out once again, the damage is disgusting from Razork. Razork and Humanoid forced up to the top side. Flakked gets the chrono shift, he doesn't need the life, but he does need the assist. Flakked gets 3 and G2 take the fight.
We always want to show that Fnatic is better than G2. That's why it's like so bloody, and we always don't want to give an inch to each other. So yeah, for sure there is something that is different than other teams.
1, 2, 3, fire!
I have a lot to prove to that I'm still here, and it's still my trophy. So going up against Fnatic will be a lot of fun.
It's time for new heroes to rise up, for new rivalries to begin, a new era for the LEC, and a new era for G2 and Fnatic.
Okay.
Epic as always. Now, we will be taking you through the draft. Unfortunately, we have an expert with us, given that Trymbi is here to assist us. Trymbi, obviously, you have a lot of insight into drafting. Obviously, you can give us a lot of breakdowns, but you can't read minds. So I think it's a little unfair to ask you what you come to expect when G2 and Fnatic are playing against each other. But when you play against these teams, what are certain things that you're cautious of, or certain champions that you think are a little scary that you don't necessarily want either team to have?
Well, there's one more thing. I cannot give you any tactics that we have from Rogue, so I'm not gonna say too much.
True.
I mean, it's gonna be for sure interesting. I think the way the draft is gonna go is gonna be like crucial for how the game actually goes to, and yeah, how basically the game will take place in. Because I think that both teams have like a little bit of a different way of playing, so that's gonna be really interesting if G2 or like Fnatic will try to play to the strength of an enemy team.
Okay, well, we are going to see the Jarvan and the Zeri removed. The Jarvan is something that we have seen Jankos been playing a fair amount recently, even after the changes to Sterak's, which I thought would push him out a little bit more. It seems that Jankos still favors it very much. The Aurelia also going to be removed along with the Thresh. So Nymaera, anything immediately standing out to you?
Well, I mean, obviously the Jarvan has a lot of ability to impact the game early. I'm wondering, well, I mean, at this point, we know that we're going to get a trade between the hyper carry AD carries. I was wondering if that was going to be put into the bans. We still have a couple of games today. We're going to see a Jinx. We're likely going to see an Aphelios, unless we've got something cooked up from G2 to allow one of them to be open and then counter it.
Yeah, we know that the Xin is open, we know that the Jinx is open, we know that the Aphelios is open, so all of the very standard, very typical AD carry powerhouses. Is there anything, yeah, I was going to say, Trymbi, do you expect any surprises? But it seems that we're just going to keep stock standard for now.
Yeah, it's just Jinx. I'm just curious if the Ryze TF matchup is gonna occur right now, due to the fact that I think Caps and Humanoid like both those champs and they like to influence the map a lot, so this matchup would be interesting. Also, there was a Grace ban, so now Jayce is looking a bit better, I would say, right?
Yep.
So they're just picking it up right now, so I'm curious how Wunder is gonna counter it, unless Caps is gonna pull off the Jayce mid lane, which I doubt, but maybe, who knows.
I think the Jayce becomes even more appealing when you see the Aurelia band as well, right? One of the common answers to it. Now, you talked about the Ryze and the Twisted Fate. Immediately, Humanoid is going to grab that up for himself. We will see the Diana paired alongside it with Razork, but already we have a pretty dynamic and pretty potent jungle support, jungle mid combo coming.
Yeah, and the thing about the Jayce is that you also really want to start stacking dragons to force the enemy team comp to come towards you. When you have the Aphelios, you can take control of the lane earlier on than the Jinx. Yes, Jinx does tend to be more consistent and much more of a threat if one of these lanes falls behind. I think that having a strong bot lane paired with the Jayce is a very valuable thing to have as a whole team composition.
So Trymbi, we see the first half of the draft. Is there anything that immediately stands out to you that needs to be taken off the board or should be prioritized in the second phase of bans?
I think G2 will try to get some either support bans on top. Yeah, exactly. Versus Heli, you just ban like Rakan right now, and it's like a bit easier, I would say. I don't think he can pull off. I mean, he can still pull off Pyke, right? Because he has TF, right? So he can just do whatever he wants. But I doubt it's gonna happen, because I think G2 is gonna go for the last pick support, and they're just gonna pick jungle on 4. So Fnatic should ban junglers, and yeah, I guess it happens. So I'm not sure what exactly G2 is looking to play versus Diana when Zinza and Jarvan are already banned. So I'm curious what Jankos is gonna bring to the table.
I almost wonder if we have seen a lot of Aphelios Nautilus today as well. I'm wondering if that's a bit more of an easy lock-in, if they do want to kind of leave something which is, I mean, say if they lock in something like a Camille topside, then you're opening up a Poppy angle, but you don't want to show that earlier. I'm just wondering if there's well, okay, there you go. Not going for the Nautilus,
okay,
shuts me up.
Yeah, they really want to pinch Heli over here. I think they just ban it so he has a rougher time actually blinding, which is understandable, I would say, because Targamas for sure can like pull off some random pick that will actually be a really nice pick into enemy champs. But for now, both drafts are pretty good. I'm just curious what G2 is actually gonna fourth pick, because actually Lee Sin is also banned, so I'm actually really curious what they're gonna do. If they're gonna go for like Gwen or something.
My thoughts would be Viego is an option, potentially Volibear is another option, and then Gwen was going to be my potential third. I did also consider Trundle, but I don't think that that's going to be valued, as the Volibear does in fact get locked in. So Jankos still going to be on something that he can have an early game impact with, and typically when you do see this Ryze Jayce, topside focus is usually the name of the game, but things are playing out kind of as you expected, Trymbi. Now we just need to see that blind pick. What blind pick would you consider if you're in Fnatic's position right now?
I guess it will be Leona. I mean, I said when they're hovering, so I guess that's just it.
No, it still counts.
I guess they pick Leona. Okay, I mean, it's a Pyke, right? I mean, they have TF, right? So if they take like an, I don't know, some kind of AD champ, they could even go for some kind of Camille on top lane and make it even more volatile. so they can look for some skirmishes, and Pyke just moves there. But I'm not sure versus Ryze if it's that good, but we'll see. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of fight on map.
There is.
I guess it's Camille.
And the thing about having like Volibear and Ryze is that you kind of know that tower dives and side lanes are really, really easy to do at some point. You hit 6 and just like everywhere. I think this is just fighting fire with fire, and I love that. That would be a carry special.
You don't think it's happening? Come on, Trymbi, come on.
I think it's gonna be like a Galio Brown type of thing, or actually, not sure. I don't know what he plays versus Pyke.
It's more tower dive.
I guess it's just
every
a
lane can
standard
tower
one.
dive.
Wow, okay.
Well, I mean, they need to engage for sure, so that's not bad for sure, not bad.
Okay, so now you have the full comps. Break down this Fnatic composition for me, Trymbi. To me, it seems like a very pick-focused comp.
Oh, yes, I think it's, and they actually play I would say they play more towards top side and more about just farming and trying to like fight them on the Pyke 6 and try to look for opportunities on both sides with TF ult. While G2 has they have quite a strong bot side, and I would say Ryze can move to both sides, and I would like to see actually punishing the fact that Jinx has legit no peel for her in early game, and overall like it's hard for her to play, I would say. So I'm curious if G2 is actually gonna be able to make her just make her suffer, obviously, but it's upset, so who knows, maybe he's gonna get out of it.
But consider this, you don't need to peel for the Jinx if everyone's dead. I think that's
true.
the logic.
If Pyke just gets five ults, yeah, it's just GG, right?
Yeah, it feels like if
Fnatic
actually like start the fight off on their own regard, like they can blow this out of the water, which is great. It's what we want to see between these two teams, just from a viewer standpoint. I'm gonna love this.
It feels like that we'll see a lot of mid lane roaming. It feels like that we're going to have a lot of fighting in the early game. Very quickly, Nymaera, which comp do you prefer, and who's going to take it?
I like G2's a little more. I think they have a bit more ability to play to both sides of the map.
Okay, and Trymbi, what about you?
I mean, I believe in Hylissang Pyke, so I think Fnatic is gonna take that one. I actually think it's gonna be not like a fiesta, but I think that it's gonna be a good game for sure. I would like to see a lot of battles.
It's going to be a good game. Well, you know, you've heard that our analyst desk is already split. You know that the fans at home are going to be excited. You know the coaches are excited for this game as well. It is a battle as old as time. G2 and Fnatic will now take to the Rift.
And here we go, time for match of the week, an EU classic. Most iconic matchup of the last decade, last era. Let's say era, we like era, that's a buzzword. Hi, welcome. This is the caster desk, we're Caedrel. They call us that because we're thick and because our names are Caedrel and Drakos. And we're here to bring you match of the week. And it's gonna be a banger because right off the bat, we have an explosive bot lane matchup and a stunning turn of events. Hylissang has had to bow his head in shame to all Pyke players out there and take Aftershock instead of Hail of Blades, but I regret to inform you that it is the right decision because Leona kind of smashes you a little bit without it.
Yeah, Gravity Gun follow-up, he's pretty much dead, so gonna go for the Aftershock for the lane itself. We'll see if they go for the bot brush control, as we saw them do previously. Of course, Hail of Blades doesn't give you that level 1 damage, but you can still look for early hooks to chunk out the enemy team. Wow, what drafts we've got here. Fnatic, a lot of single target damage other than the Diana, which will be like facilitating a little bit of wombo. The only worry is you have a double AP mid jungle into the Ryze, so he'll have a pretty easy time itemizing, as Razork's going to start up on the Raptors.
Yeah, very easy to go into the Fimbulwinter build. And the tanky Ryze build is so fantastic because there's just so much strong defensive itemization in the game right now between Force of Nature and both of the armor items, whether it's Randuin's or the Frozen Heart. depending on how he wants to proceed. But keeping our eyes on the jungle pathing for now. A little bit of a leash for the Volibear, a little bit more lane control for Fnatic this time around, though. Going to be hard to completely destroy G2 in the level 1. You can see Targamas quickly trading back. Now remember, back to the last time Hylissang played Pyke, he had Halo Blades. He went into the Thresh of Lebrov, and they absolutely obliterated that matchup at level 1. But again, the aggression coming out here, very crucial to take control of the lane. Leona level 2, very powerful. And the big thing here is Pyke can peel for himself very easily, but he cannot peel reliably for upset. Part of the reason why you see that cleanse coming out. And 3 for 3! This man can't miss! How do they keep getting away with the Caedrel?
Hilly just keeps walking up, and Targamas, of course, isn't level 2, so he can't really stop him. Hilly's looking for more. Might get a flash.
Gonna go in. Gets the stun. A little more damage.
Oh, Jankos has done his bot side camps. He's gonna surprise Fnatic's bot lane here.
Cleanse flash and upset.
They don't have a ward.
I don't even know if Jankos can actually step forward. If they get level 2, yes, they can.
They're still quite a way away. We'll see when they get level 2 because there's still some range creeps that they need to kill. Jankos is thinking about it. He's wasting a lot of time. Here he goes.
Forward. Maybe can get the cleanse out of upset. Immediate cleanse comes out. Hook to pull him back. Damage comes down from the Volibear. Jankos now taking a big chunk. And in the meantime, Diana rapidly clearing, moving into the top side opposing jungle. Jankos is giving up a lot for just a cleanse onto upset.
Yeah, 3 camps on the top side of the map for Razork to take away. Jankos might just have to walk into Diana's bot side, but the red buff is still up, but Jankos doesn't know that. They saw the Raptors are down, so maybe he thinks that red buff is down as well. He's sprinting to the top side of the map right now to cut off the Diana. He has top push as well. Caps is pushing in the mid wave, so Razork could be in trouble if he overstays. Jankos probably going to focus the crab first.
And Caedrel, I'm casting my mind back as we see some of this trade in jungle camps. The last time Hylissang locked in Pyke, it was Targamas who joined us for picks and bans, and he said, well, if he wants to win the matchup, he has to hit his hooks. And now against Targamas, the next time he's plays the matchup, he hits 3 hooks back-to-back, setting up their lane phase for so much success, wasting so much of Jankos' time. Now, ultimately, it hasn't resulted in much of a greater advantage quite yet, but it does get the cleanse out of upset in exchange for a pretty big CS lead for Razork.
Yeah, and I think the wave is pushing into Flakked. I think they have a pretty nice freeze sitting for them. CS lead on the side of Flakked. Actually, it's kind of slow bouncing right now, but there's only 1 CS extra, so big CS lead in the bot lane for Flakked. Gonna get hooked though, not gonna get the stun connecting. And Jankos is gonna get a bit of a surprise now when he realizes his red's gone. He's gonna run to his Krugs. His Krugs are gone, so he's just gonna have to base or look for something top right now. There's not much else to do on the map with his bot side camps respawning soon. As he does head up here, I mean, Volibear, Jayce, Ryze, really strong early top side, can look for early top dives, but no wave just yet. Jankos in the area though, has flash available.
And sweep comes out, but a trading. Cookies and gonna help keep that mana topped up for BrokenBlade, but he is running low if he wants to stick around in the lane. Now Diana on the way down. Hylissang, if he connects to the hook, it's gonna be big, but Targamas just interrupts with the stun. It's well played. Phantom Undertow gonna give his life for this one. Ticking on the ignite, keeping vision on him. So the passive cannot heal, but he's finally now gonna be able to heal up. Targamas making his way out of that one. It costs them 2 summoner spells, however.
So bot gank backfires. Hilly's the one that's forced to flash away. Combat summoners used. Caps again, looking for Wunder. Might have to flash.
Locking up Wunder. Phase rush. The flash out with attack sweep and first blood for Caps.
Clean setup. We talked about the early top pressure that they'll have with the Jayce, Volibear, Ryze. It does net them a kill. And yes, Razork has a lot of tempo on the map. They're going to look for a bot dive, actually. TP coming in from BrokenBlade to defend this. Waves crash, so he should be able to just base right now and run back top and not lose too much. So that'll be that. Defending the dive. And early lead for G2. We'll see if Wunder decides to fast push this. But in the end, I think it doesn't really matter. BrokenBlade will get back there in time. Jankos still hasn't base. Razork has really good tempo on the map. Has a blasting wand. Has gone back to base. Has a camp lead. Took away his red buff. Hylissang still looking. Targamas has flash still.
He's trying to chip Targamas out. Out of pots now, so any damage they do to him will stick at this point in the game. That said, upset a little bit behind right now. Only was able to back and get the refillable. That said, Flakked had no chance to back quite yet. And Razork just rinsing and repeating here on the bottom side. Difficult angle to pull off a gank without Hylissang landing the hook. Flash still up for Targamas, flash still up for Flakked. Cleanse on the way for upset. Hylissang now stepping forward. Flakked can just flash out. They're trying to bait it, but they hit him. Pulling back, the traps are right behind him. Flakked now in trouble. Maybe he should have just flashed away, but he's holding on. He's ticking. He will drop. Targamas now in trouble as well. Will walk away in the end, but ooh.
Little bit of disrespect there. You might have to think there for Flakked. He could just flash the hook and he's pretty safe, but Chomper's behind him, tries to trade 1-for-1. Jankos is on the way. Humanoid has hit 6, but he won't be able to ult in. Pink Ward spots out Jankos. Explosive early game, only 2 kills.
BrokenBlade and Wunder trading top side. Fully stacked Conqueror now for BrokenBlade, procced up. Walk away here, and a lot of action across every single lane. Junglers can have big impact at this point.
Yeah, Fnatic focusing bot side. They want to get their bot lane ahead, of course, and get Hylissang out of that lane, move towards mid, use TF ultimate aggressively on either side lane. You can punish this Jayce very easily with Camille and TF level 6 if Pyke can move up there as well. So Razork's trying to get bot ahead to unlock Hylissang. and then that can be used to shut down this top side of G2. Jankos going to try to steal away some Raptors here. TF has ultimate and has mana to collapse with Ignite too, so he's just going to back off.
Jankos missing the smite there too on the way out. Razork will secure the big Raptor. It's the one that matters. Checking on the gold, 300 lead to Fnatic, but honestly a neck-and-neck game. Big difference here is the CS discrepancy in jungle, 44 to 28. But on the bot side, Flakked balancing things out pretty well, despite all the early pressure from Hylissang, despite the early struggles. All that chaos on the bottom side stopped Upset from really being able to lock down some of that CS, and has got himself a pretty decent lead.
Yeah, here's Hylissang moving towards mid now. Targamas doing the same, trying to make sure that Targamas, yes, he's down in XP, but he's trying to match the support play from Hylissang. Doesn't want to let him be able to access mid-wave, try to push Caps back, look for some kind of kill, blow his summoners. G2 with that bot pressure. Gonna force up the dragon here. Razork is 6, like you said. No TPs, but Humanoid has ult if he wants to collapse. Happy sitting under his mid tower. G2 a bit scared here. Jankos only level 5.
Waiting, watching, Razork debating, do they start the objective up again? Level advantage over Jankos. That camp lead means he has ultimate and Jankos does not. Walking into the Diana could be suicide. Jankos debating if he can try and steal this one, but good patience from Fnatic means they will not early smite, and that's going to be their mountain.
And this is the consequence of Jankos looking for that early bot gank. Yes, you got Upset's cleanse to free up your bot lane, but you lost so many camps in the meantime that now you're down a level. If he was level 6 there, maybe they fancy themselves a fight, but for now, G2 going to try to cross map. Wunder reading the play very well. He knows his jungler's taking away their blue, so let's just drop some plates and give it up. Very contrasting styles we're seeing here, and you can see it in the picture-in-picture. Fnatic playing bot side, G2 playing top side. BrokenBlade will be ahead at the cost of Upset and Hylissang getting ahead, and this is the two styles we see from both these teams.
Certainly is. We know exactly what to expect when it comes to Wunder and BrokenBlade, both as top laners. BrokenBlade, a guy who gets that setup, who gets that support, who gets a lot of help in draft with his crazy picks like the Yone, and gets the jungle support to back it up, whereas Wunder, a lot of people thought of him as an egotistical player. We had Upset on Euphoria, talked about him. No, he is always willing to take a bad matchup. He's always willing to just pick Gragas, or in this case, pick the Camille into the Jayce, suffer a little bit in the early game, and it shows in the statistics, especially when it comes to jungle proximity.
Contrast in playstyles and contrast in the way the team functioned in the offseason. You think of G2 in 2019, picking up star players, right? Signing Caps, signing people who have very big achievements across the board to make sure that they have international success. Flip the picture now. Fnatic are the ones signing these superstars. Humanoid coming across, Wunder coming across, and G2 going through a phase of rebuilding. So these organizations kind of swapped roles over the last couple of years now, and their playstyles are stark contrast. Fnatic starting up their Herald for now. They got the first dragon, of course, because of the level events for Razork, but Jankos has caught up. Humanoid still has ultimate ignite. Hylissang is here, still supports, not level 6 yet.
Targamas now pulling back. Level 5 for Hylissang. Level 6 is going to be big there, but both supports still a little bit off the mark.
And Fnatic with this Camille pick, you want to play for side lanes as much as possible. Yes, falling behind against the Jayce is kind of expected because Fnatic want to play for bot side, play for the Pyke to unlock it, but they will need to reward Wunder later on in the game. Maybe a TF ultimate up there with Hylissang dropping a bot wave. They can use Herald for this bot tower and take it down, and then maybe that's their opportunity to do so, because Camille being ahead just makes the game so much easier when you're playing over side lane with his TF. Jayce can easily die to any side lane play.
Absolutely can. Love to have the setup, and again, we'll see if Fnatic can do what Vitality could not. Less of a wombo combo, less reliant on hitting everything together. Razork has a little bit more flexibility and freedom. Keeping my eyes on that gold card plus the Hylissang combo. We saw it used very well in the bot side dives against Vitality when Fnatic pulled it out last time. Super simple. Gold card into Phantom Undertow or Hook, or really any combination you want. Very quick kill if G2 are ever at a man disadvantage.
And Flakked not running the cleanse as well, so the second that hits, he's as good as dead, so has to be very, very careful here. Has flash coming up soon, but again, we see bot wave pushing into Fnatic. This is where they strike. This is where they make plays. It's either a dive or a wave pushing into them, and G2 are reading the play. Jankos is on the bot side of the map, but there it is.
Gold card, point, click, locked down, but a good interrupt coming from Targamas. Ready to body block, but he still hits it anyway. Rocket going in, Flakked healing up though. Good use of the ultimate from the Severum to bring it back. Hylissang ticking, burning. They've got vision on him, but the Ryze is on the way. Razork ready to fight the 1v1 though. They've instantly turned their attention. Clean calling coming out, but that is going to be the phase rush. Taking Caps out to safety. A tense exchange. Nobody will drop on either side.
So many small mechanical plays there. Targamas tried to block the hook, but Hylissang angled it perfectly to hit Flakked to pull him into the chompers. The heal saved him, and they didn't actually get a kill or a reset on the Pyke. The rocket connected, but no one was in execute range. Here's the Herald for the bot tower. Demolish as well. That's going to fall. We saw BrokenBlade and Wunder fighting. TPs weren't up, so neither of them can join the fight. But BrokenBlade was still looking for some kind of pressure when everyone was spotted on the map. Bot tower is going to fall. Early gold lead to Fnatic, and now Hylissang's unleashed on the map. Level 6 Pyke.
Look over the wall. Flakked has to be careful about stepping forward here. Still clear from a safe distance. Another hook going down. Jankos going to smite smartly the Herald to heal back up. That's key Otherwise, the Pyke execute could have come through. TP being used on the top side as well. But bot play for Fnatic will finally finish and fizzle. They do break the bottom tower. They do build themselves a gold lead, but BrokenBlade continues to press his advantage on the top side.
Now, Fnatic being Fnatic, you expect our bot lane to just go top now and play for plates towards the top side of the map. Wunder just continues to play weak side on bot lane. I think the full swap will come in, and Flakked's taking an early base. You can see on the minimap right now, he could just push out the next bot wave and look to get a small CS lead. But instead, I think he realizes that Upset's going to run towards top, and maybe he wants to run there as well. But of course, doesn't have information. So maybe he will find himself against Fnatic's Wunder. We'll see how the map devolves. I think he's just going to run through mid for now and wait. You can see he's unsure which part of the map to go towards. And he's just going to wait to see where he can match the Jinx.
Keeping our eyes on the Pyke on the top side. Flakked also moving up to top lane as well. G2 will have a man advantage if the play comes through, maybe reading the play from Hylissang. Have to be careful though, again. The execute is big.
So Flakked is top, and now Upset's pushing out bot. You can see the question mark ping on the map on the Jinx. Flakked realizes, hang on, they're not swapping. What he's trying to read the play here is their bot lane base ran top and they're sitting behind the Camille. They're going to 3-man dive my Jayce. I'm going to run top to make sure they're safe, and I'll go catch mid wave when Caps wants to take a base. He can catch bot wave. So good map movements from G2 just to make sure BrokenBlade isn't under any threat.
Certainly solid. Brief break here. Looks like both sides, supports just matching each other. Moving synchronized through the lanes as Razork is going to start up this Drake. It seems like it will just go down uncontested. In the meantime, Wunder may suffer on the top side, but you can see Humanoid hovering, waiting in the darkness. Does have the Destiny in just a few moments.
Yeah, Hylissang's been showing on wards towards top side non-stop, and Humanoid's missing in mid. G2 keep pinging it, so they think the top play might happen any second soon, but joke's on them. Razork's actually on the Dragon, so Fnatic are kind of faking pressure up here, and G2 are trying to defend it, but there's nothing to defend. Caps will push out bot, so now they'll get a small numbers advantage towards mid, but no Herald and no objectives to play for. Hylissang's looking for BrokenBlade, I think.
In the time. The hook lands, it's going to be big. BrokenBlade is going to make it out in time. The extra movement speed from swapping forms will take him out to safety. Wunder and Hylissang now going to try to put some pressure on the top side. And again, a single hook lands onto BrokenBlade and he will be in trouble. Targamas though in mid lane, maybe he can get something done. Difficult though, again, Upset with the cleanse. Might have hurt him a bit in the early laning phase, but helps him a lot in these exchanges. Allows him to step forward. Big damage going in. Good stun comes out from Targamas. Rocket not quite going to finish the job.
Fnatic, absolutely no fear.
Hook goes back. Hylissang taking his time. A little bit extra money in the back pocket of Wunder to boot.
There's the repayment. Now Humanoid might be in trouble. Has cleanse.
Red card, slowing him down. Jankos just going to ult back out to safety. Scrappy plays. In the meantime, Caps pushing in on the bottom side.
Jankos really hasn't found his way into this game. He's 2 levels down right now. Ever since that early bot gank, he's just been on the back foot, and he's never found his way back into it because no plays have been going in G2's favor. Fnatic pressuring mid, pressuring top. They're all over the map, and Humanoid will now run towards the bot side to catch this wave. TF ultimate still up, a lot of pressure, and you can see how Hylissang, being unlocked in bot, repays Wunder after he's fallen behind. Now he's basically even again.
Yep, Hylissang has been the terror for this team. You saw Astralis yesterday dismantle some of the bot side focus strategy. G2 Esports could not do that in the early laning phase. Yes, Flakked got a bit of an early CS lead, but Hylissang rather just generated so much pressure that demanded a response.
Is he gonna get out? Is he gonna get out?
Coming out. Gold card gonna stop it. Upset with the slow to follow. Hylissang gonna dash in, and it's all too easy. Humanoid grabs the kill.
Now, G2 have a window in mid. They push in the wave. What can their bot lane get done? Upset just ganks bot, catches the wave. He doesn't lose too many resources, but looks like G2 will try to force this top tier one. Wunder has TP if he wants to catch the wave, but TPing into 4 members, he knows the roll top side is dangerous. So, they get a kill bot, but G2 are going to trade for a tower.
And for a brief moment, the game slows down. And I want to expand on something that you brought up earlier already. In the past, G2 was the super team. 2019, super team. Kept that roster going, brought in Reckless. People thought it would get to high heights. Now when they rebuild, for the first time in their history, G2 are focusing on rookies. I don't get to talk about stories. I get to talk about Razork potentially murdering Jankos because there's a 2-level discrepancy. Hylissang's on the way in, and his ult will not have cooldown. It might not matter. Jankos going to go down. Maybe they fish for a little bit more here. Tower still standing, but they got 3 members on the top side. Rocket goes a little bit wide, but it's just not going to matter. BrokenBlade clean flash out to safety. Good escape. TP now coming in. Caps maybe hoping to turn this flash forward. The point-and-click CC. The Zenith Blade will not connect, but it does not matter. BrokenBlade grabbing the kill. Slow coming out from the Everfrost. They are going to walk away.
So 1-for-1 in the end. Top lane for jungle. TP invested from Caps, however, though. Herald has spawned, and they're going to force it up without their jungler. Hylissang needs to base, restock on wards, but as I say that, he's going to cancel it. Try to fight Targamas, pulls him over the wall, can hit the blast cone to stop him escaping.
Locking him up. Gold card comes through as well, has the ultimate, continues just to push him back, pulling in. BrokenBlade on the way in, though they just want to fish. They want to finish with the execute. But they're going to be forced away. Hylissang actually the one to lose flash there.
Yeah, but Hylissang just slowing G2 down. Can they do the Herald now? The answer is no, because it's reset, and they're all coming out of base. Razork's on his Wolves. Wunder has TP up, so that's it. G2's tempo is gone, just defending Targamas from falling. So smart play there from Hylissang, staying on the map once again, trying to slow down their bases. Might be a bit dangerous though. Just keeps delaying G2, and Fnatic are the ones who will get the Herald in the end.
Certainly does. It's harder for Hylissang to play this game the later it goes. A single Volibear stun, a single Leona stun. He get one shot very quickly as he can't really effectively build defensive resistances outside of the Aftershock. But you can see now why he went for that mastery. It does give him a little bit more room to get aggressive, to force these plays, to buy time for the rest of the team.
And that's the minute things you don't see sometimes off camera, where he's slowing members down to make sure they have more tempo on the map, or burning the enemy team's tempo by chasing them down and burning his own. And that's exactly what Hylissang's been doing. Still yet to base, staying on the top side, so Fnatic can keep this top push, and they will get themselves a top tier 1. Fnatic so far ahead right now. The G2 actually have objective bounties because of the gold lead and the 2 dragons in their pocket.
Yep. Lead just continues to go. 4K in their favor. Hylissang still waiting in the darkness. Just a level difference. Ulti comes out immediately from Humanoid just to see who's in the area.
Yeah, defensive TF ult there. 40 seconds on the Dragon. They all need to base. Hylissang, you can't stay any longer. You need to go back, refresh your wards, go towards the bot side of the map. There's a wave coming into Wunder that he'll want to catch, but I think G2 need to respond. We'll see how Caps moves around the map, because this Dragon spawning, giving an Ocean Soul point 17 minutes into the game is very, very dangerous. Fnatic have Herald to guarantee mid-push if they want to. Then see members committed to make sure that it crashes, and then they'll move into River. Wunder's going to push out bots. G2 grouping up mid, trying to get some control.
Yep. And more time for G2 to get their carries scaling up is certainly a good thing. The Aphelios and Ryze will let them have a few more items under their belt, but it doesn't look like Fnatic are going to give them that time. It doesn't get easier either, as Hylissang has now completed the Umbral Glaive, so Vision is going to be harder and harder to come by as G2 move later in the game. But for now, they bullied their way into mid lane, they bullied their way into the pit, and they're ready for a fight if Fnatic want to take it.
Yeah, Fnatic has an option here to just bail down mid, look for 2 towers. G2's all in bot side River. They could just ignore this Dragon and run it down. They don't have TF ultimate to face check the Dragon, so they're not going to do that. They're just going to look for the tier 2. G2 need to respond quickly. Yes, you've denied the Ocean Soul point, but can you save your mid tier 2 tower? They might have to Ryze ult to defend the tower. There it is. Ryze ult coming in, but you're Ryze ulting into Diana.
Grabs coming out. Volibear pulled back. Jankos can heal back up to get a little bit more down. Big ulti comes in from Flakked onto the backside, but Razork and Wunder make quick work of the frontliners from the side of G2. Flakked, Caps, BrokenBlade still standing, but Fnatic pushing into the mid lane. They didn't get anything though. That's important. They did not break that tier 2 tower. So for now, it's just the Dragon up for G2. It does cost them 2 members, however, and at the end of the day, it does not seem like a good deal.
Yeah, the idea was good from G2. We need to get there in time now. If we run there, it's gone. Ryze ult in, but 4 members on top of Diana, Chompers, Hylissang's Pyke. He can hook at least 1 target guaranteed, and that's what happened. Members got singled out. Jankos actually ulted aggressively because I think he thought there would be follow-up from G2, and there was. The blue gun ult was fantastic from Flakked, but that was it. Caps couldn't get in range to do anything else. And BrokenBlade had already used his Shock Blast, so he can't jump in hammer form, otherwise he'll get turned on. So 2 kills for Fnatic is what they'll get instead of that tower.
Well, maybe had to go in or they would lose the tower anyway, but ultimately the trade is, instead of losing the tower, you lose 2 lives. So difficult decision for G2, but you can see Flakked getting stronger. That was 1 item that Aphelios sold. It's only going to get better as you move later and later into the game. Caps wasn't even really able to get in range to do any damage. But sadly, it's not getting any easier to stall this game out, because that's a rapid fire cannon for the TF. That's a hole breaker coming in for Wunder. The split push power on this team, the ability to dissect G2, to pick them apart in these side lanes, very much online for Fnatic.
Definitely is. Both teams sitting at 8 and 4. Winner will be 1 step ahead of their counterpart, of course, and push themselves further up into the standings. Not only is it bragging rights, but you can sit atop of your rivals.
And remember, Misfits are currently sole control of second. Winner here will get second, but because there's a 2-way tie for second, loser will be in 4th. Top 4, the also crucial spot to lock in the regular season, keeps you in the double elim bracket in playoffs. Of course, we still got 5 games left after this one for each and every team in the LEC, so there's time. But winning here is big, especially against a team you're directly fighting for that contention in top 4.
So G2's composition works through side lanes similar to Fnatic. The only difference is the Pyke can move around the map faster than the Leona, and Fnatic just have control of the map, so they can always play on 2 lanes. That's the biggest problem G2 have right now. Ryze ulting behind your Jayce is fantastic, but if TF ults up always and you have a Pyke roaming around the map with constant mid push, it's very hard to execute those plays, so engaging mid might be your option. So G2 just grouping up as 4 here, trying to get some kind of push, and maybe they can go towards top and stop Wunder from pushing out these waves.
Realm Warp is up. Potentially shut him down, but Wunder waiting back, hiding, waiting to see a few more members before he pushes any further, staying in fog for now. We'll see Caps in the area. Could try to commit for a trade here. Of course, with Hullbreaker, he is very, very strong. But Fnatic just pushing out mid, and it's really just trading back and forth this wave pressure.
Yeah, you can see the 2 lanes Fnatic are playing on, mid and top right now, completely ignoring bot waves. Humanoid just wants to be in range. Their objective is this mid tier 2. It's very low, and G2 want to commit members to stop it from happening. There might be a fight here. Hylissang lands a hook.
Bone Skewer, Rocket. BrokenBlade forced back. It's good damage. Tower is going to fall. Tier 2 in favor of Fnatic.
They got what they came for. That Herald was the play to get that, but they got it in the end, and 2 kills on top of it earlier on. So full map control still for Fnatic. Humanoid can happily go bot now and catch the wave after the play has been made, and G2 get nothing in response. 1 minute 40 seconds on the next Dragon will put Fnatic on Ocean Soul point. That's going to be the next focus, but with Baron up, they have to be careful. Aphelios Ryze quite quick at doing Nash. They can Ryze ult to a Nash, so Fnatic need to keep some kind of vision around it.
Yep. Have a few get out of jail free cards with the Destiny, as well as double blue trinkets up. So don't have to sweat too much yet, but it is something that has to be respected as we move later and later into the game. 6K gold lead is massive for Fnatic. Again, the carries on the side of G2 will get scary as we move later. Caps on 2 items is going to be a little bit harder to lock down, but for now it's Fnatic in complete control. And Caedrel, remember when I was going to do that thing where I talk about stories? I think now, not to cast or curse it, maybe we have time. Because this is something we've talked about a lot behind the scenes. And it's just to say that it's interesting that G2 were once the team that drafted and bought all the star players, whether it was Sven and Mithy from OG, whether it was bringing Caps over and pushing Perks to the bottom lane. Now they're putting their faith in rookies.
Reckless.
Flakked, Targamas, bringing these players up. Interestingly, it was Fnatic bringing all the rookies into the league before this. It was
G2
Whippo,
stealing the players.
It was Broxa, and G2 stealing those players. And now it's Fnatic. We've swapped sides. Now it is Fnatic with a super team. It is Fnatic with a star-studded roster, getting the best talent they can possibly get their hands on. And hold that thought, because now we've got an engage on the top side. Wunder getting a little bit more aggressive, flashing out to safety, and now hookshot wall dive will take him away.
Okay, that's one play over side lane, but the thing is, your mid and jungle are up towards the top side, 20 seconds on the Dragon. I think that might just be it for G2. They're gonna give it up unless Caps can push out this wave and TP towards mid. Ryze ult down there. Hylissang just trying to fish to find where G2 is, slow them down into moving into this bot side river. Caps going for the next top wave. He has TP, but Fnatic again playing on 2 lanes, mid and bot push. They can collapse towards the Dragon whenever they so choose to do. And G2 maybe looking for some kind of Baron pressure here.
Nope. But again, Fnatic just always on the Drake, ready to take it. They're gonna move themselves up to Ocean Soul point. It's gonna mitigate a lot of the poke that could come out of BrokenBlade.
It's gone.
Massive. Slowly but surely they build these advantages.
Yeah, double rapid fire, so much range.
Going
Humanoid
forward, Targamas immediately gonna get taken out. Razork now going in, that's a bit of an oopsie. It's gonna stop the fight for now. The hook shot, the wall dive to follow. Jankos forced to ult back. A lot of pressure right now in favor of Fnatic. They got mid push as well. They can go bot, they can go to Baron if they want.
Support is down, but I think G2 have enough members alive that Fnatic don't want to risk a Baron start. Razork, maybe if he was just in range for his dash there, he could have got a 3 or 4 man ultimate or a lot of flashes out of G2, but in this case, he did scuff it a bit, but they still get themselves a kill. Jankos forced to ult away. Fnatic can now catch waves and push out again and rinse and repeat. Constant mid pressure being contested from both sides, and Fnatic just trying to push out side lanes before that happens.
The thing is, it's just so difficult because Fnatic have so many tools to pick you off that if Targamas does overstep for even a second, you can see how quickly the kill goes down in favor of Fnatic.
Razork so close. Flash in here after Humanoid goes first onto Targamas. Single out one target, double rapid fire play on range. Razork here looks for Flakked, I think. The second he goes in there, he can get Flakked and BrokenBlade's flash away. Maybe they can single out Caps and Razork would pop stopwatch. That would help them out so much for the next fight because when they don't have flash, they can't walk up against your composition. Pyke, TF, Jinx with rapid fires. You're just naturally outranged as Ryze and Aphelios, and G2 really haven't found any control in this game whatsoever.
Nope, certainly been a difficult one. Feels like Fnatic, again, it all goes back. And we're talking a lot about Hylissang, but it's important to understand that this man has been getting away with murder on the bottom side of the map, winning so many lanes that should be difficult that other supports couldn't even imagine to do, and now builds that advantage for his team on the bottom side. Transitions to the rest of the game, makes it so easy, gives Razork that big lead, shuts Jankos down, sets them up to snowball this lead, and while now everyone on Fnatic has contributed to building this massive advantage, it all started in the bottom lane.
Definitely did, and so much playmaking potential with TF and Pyke moving around the map. TF will just to spot all of G2 towards the top side so they can hit this bot tier 2. Might just fall. We'll see how G2 responds though, because there's no real waves to play on again, and your hard engage is so obvious. It's just kind of like a Ryze ult or a Leona walking up. Upsets paying respects. They have enough vision to back off when G2 walk up, so another objective in Fnatic's back pocket. The only real tower left standing is at tier 2 top before they can start cracking open the base, and I imagine they'll do that after a massive fight or the Baron, but I think Fnatic can just slow it down. Still 2 minutes 30 seconds on their Ocean Soul.
Yeah, really just take their time here. No reason to rush. You've got the advantage, you've got the lead. G2 are still pretty far away from those major item completions. You can see upsets build. This is the absolute most respectful build you can go for. Hold that thought. Bit of a trade there, but not much is going to come from it. Anyway, Gale Force, Rapid Fire Cannon, Flash Cleanse. That is, I don't really need to do damage, I just need to not die.
Definitely does. One reset for the Pyke is going to be so dangerous. The Rocket is enough execution damage, rapid fire auto attack, building towards that BT we expect to make sure he's as safe as possible. Of course, Jayce poke is going to be a bit annoying, so he can lifesteal straight through that. And the Rocket was used to slow down Flakked's base so they can keep control over the entrance red. Hylissang might be caught here.
He's going to go out. Bit questionable. Thought he could finish the recall, and it looks like it's going to cost him his life. He's trying to get away, but it will not happen. Big shutdown for the side of G2.
Okay, so signs of life for G2. What's the play now, though? Because mid-wave's pushed into your tier 3. You can't really start Nash unless BrokenBlade wants to invest the TP. Bot tier 1 is still up and is an objective bounty, but Wunder won't let that fall. So looks like it's just going to be a shutdown over to Jankos. They get his flash as well, and that'll be the end of that.
Hylissang caught out, thought he could finish the recall. Could have eat out a little bit sooner, but really believed he could make it to safety. Just a bit of a miscalculation on the timing will cost him, and well punished by the side of G2 to fully commit to take down that Pyke. Razork, though, now leaping forward, uses the rocket belt just for a little bit extra movement speed as he chases in there. Won't find an engage.
TikTok on the clock for Fnatic, 1 minute on the Ocean Soul. We'll see how G2 responds. They're trying to base right now to restock on wards, get as many power spikes as possible for this next Dragon fight. Stopwatch picked up for Flakked with a crit cloak. We'll see if Caps has the Frozen Heart in base as well. 3 items Ryze is always scary, but Humanoid happily far ahead, sitting on the elixir, waiting for the fight to kick off. That's when he'll pop it a couple seconds beforehand. Fnatic still have control over this bot side. G2 need to group up and crack it open.
Fnatic stepping in, laying down a bit of vision. And okay, and sorry to pause the cast for a second. Did you just quote Kesha in our cast?
A little bit. I might have.
Bro, you're the
no
best.
Comment.
No, that's... The party don't start until you walk in, Caedrel. I respect
G2's
it.
walking in.
They're
going to get their wards. Caps is looking for midway, but Jankos and Targamas are just running straight through this river. BrokenBlade has some kind of bot push.
Hylissang still level 10. Targamas as well. Very squishy again. You saw if he does get caught out, but has more than enough tools just to dash away. Get out to safety. This is it. This is the arena. 10 seconds. Counting down to the Ocean Drake spawns. Fnatic have to be careful not to group into the pit against the Aphelios, against the Ryze. They pull someone over the wall. They pull Caps over the wall. It's going to be big, but he flashes back out to safety. Wunder in the midst of the team. Razork, Humanoid, no one's getting any damage down. Everybody just retreating. But lots of low health bars on the side of G2. Jankos is trying to heal up as he retreats.
Oh, Razork.
Ulti from Razork again. Catastrophically bad. What is it going to cost Fnatic? Upset, Gale forcing forward, but he won't be able to finish Jankos. Wunder leaping in. Hookshot wall dive with attack speed. Targamas now the re-engage coming out. It's a comedy of errors, but there's Hylissang finding one reset. Going in for the second, but he cannot finish the job. In the meantime, the dragon is falling. The dragon can fall now. Caps cannot make it through the traps. The Realm Warp coming in. Is it going to be fast enough? Caps now, no! It's such a messy fight. It's such a disaster, but Flakked, can he clean up? That's the reset for Upset. Flakked now in trouble as Razork now steps forward. That was the messiest exchange I have seen all week, but ultimately it's Fnatic who come out on top.
BrokenBlade TP's in, but he's just going to have to run away. 3 members alive. They're going to go towards the Baron that just spawned. That should be pretty easy for them to pick up, but this fight, everything went wide for Fnatic, but they still won. They tried to initially go to Caps. He flashes away. Big Everfrost roots on Fnatic to slow down the fight. Jankos lives. The rocket doesn't hit him. Smite onto the Gromp keeps him alive. Hilly eventually finds one target in the backline, but Jankos holds his ult for so long. Here, Razork, ultimate goes wide. Flash, not useful whatsoever, so he's forced out straight away, so he turns towards the dragon. The ultimate comes out from Jankos. Wunder tries to go back in, so G2 just kiting in and out to try to make sure they can find one target, and they do. But the Chompers slow them down so much, it looks like they're winning the fight when Hylissang falls, and BrokenBlade can TP back, but these Chompers from Upset makes it so the Realm Warp has to be cast, and I think Flakked tries to take it, but he doesn't get it in the end because he clicks away. Maybe if he joined the fight, he has a stopwatch, he could help them out a little bit sooner, but he ends up falling.
Comedy of errors there. A lot of small individual misplays, a lot of small moments of success. Hylissang finds one execute, but G2 quick enough to kill him to stop him from getting 2 more as BrokenBlade and Jankos were both underneath the health threshold. Now you have to deal with the other obnoxious thing about Hylissang Pyke, which is him split pushing on a side lane with Baron buff. G2...
They have to comp for it.
They do.
1-3-1 comp. Well, the one on side lane is not the Camille, it's going to be the Camille and the Pyke. The TF's just going to stay around mid with the rapid fire, but Hylissang might be caught out here. He doesn't have flash. Caps uses the Everfrost to try and find him. Jankos can look for him too.
Just doing a dash away. Slippery champion the Pyke is.
And this is the power of side laning as Pyke. Things like Rengar and Kha'Zix can work there as well because of the mobility. These champions aren't picked so much in pro play, but are good split pushers. When you have Nash, Rek'Sai is another good example where these champions, when they group up, can't offer too much, but they can pressure side lanes, and they have mobility. G2 Realm Warping in.
Jankos now going forward. Razork off to the side. Cap's potentially caught in the pinch here. Eyes on the gold card from Humanoid. Flakked in the area as well. Upside going to take a bit of poke damage back. In the meantime, Wunder now engaging. The fight is split. Humanoid goes in, goes golden. A bit of a Messiah play to kick things off. Caps, though, will not go down. The shield coming up just in time to stop the execution. But it does not matter because finally, after 2 attempts, the third will finally land. Razork finds the ult, and Fnatic will look to find the win. Soul Control, not Soul Control, tied with Misfits for second place as G2 are forced down to 4th. Vengeance after the last best of 1 went awry. Fnatic will take the win.
It was clean and easy from the get-go. Couple mistakes from Razork. You can see he has his hand in his head. He knows he messed up a couple of those ultimates and could have cost some fights to stall this game out longer. But Fnatic, dominant victory there. Stacking the dragons, knew the fight would come in eventually. That fight was very, very up and down, but in the end they closed it out and they got the win.
And overall, very scrappy game. Fnatic holding on to that lead, looking for the big fights. Couple individual fumbles stopped that from being a cleaner snowball, but ultimately Fnatic find the win, and that's what matters. Tied now at the top of the standings, right behind Rogue with Misfits, joint second.
Very clear playstyle from Fnatic, once again playing through bot. This time not so much for the AD carry, but to get Pyke around the map to make sure that the Camille is stabilized, and they have so much pressure with the TF Camille and Pyke. I mean, you look at the Astralis game yesterday where they just shut down bot lane. They just focus bot so much that Fnatic could never find their window, but this time around, the focus worked out.
Certainly did. And I think now Fnatic can feel pretty confident that their bot lane focus continues to pay off, but this wasn't a game where it feels like they explicitly focused on bot lane. They found an opportunity, they generated individual advantages. Razork responded by invading on the top side, put G2 behind, and they struggled to find a way back into the game. And it's natural, because Volibear is that early game jump. He doesn't find those early ganks. When Diana gets that far ahead, it's just a difficult game to play.
And you can't really fault Jankos for that early bot gank, because when bot lane's trading so hard and you're on that side of the map pathing away, you worry to yourself, well, if the enemy jungle backtracks and goes down towards there, I have to match it or be there first. He tried to be there first, but his bot lane was still level 1 when he went in, so he got a cleanse, lost his camps for it. And the idea was good, but it just didn't work out.
Did not quite work in the end. Fnatic tied second with Misfits, G2 down to 4th. The Kia player of the game at LEC on Twitter. Razork, Humanoid, Hylissang. Pick who you want to go for. I would say, for me, I've talked too much about Hylissang, so I'm going to say Humanoid so I don't get called caster
I would
bias.
give it to Razork, but those 2 ultimates, one is a mistake, but 2, oh, you really got to fix those. Yeah. Third one in the end made it so they could close out the game.
Yeah, look good. After the break, Ashley is going to be joined by Wunder, and Rogue's Comp will join us in PGL. Don't miss it.